Ψάχναμε πολύ καιρό, δεν βρίσκαμε. Ήταν ακριβά
We've been searching for months. It was very
και
difficult.
μικρά
The rents are
γενικότερα,
just too high and the apartments
λόγω
too small, and there's
σεζονική
barely any availability. But I got lucky and I found one
βρήκαμε
around
εν τέλει
500 euros.
έως 500.
While Andreas may count himself fortunate to find a roof over his head, it still comes at a price this university student's family says they cannot afford.
Ναι,
Based on my
βάσει
family's
των
income,
συνθηκών
it
που
would be
έχουν,
extremely difficult or
είναι
even
δύσκολο και
impossible for them to
ειδικά για
support
τη
me throughout my
συμφωνία.
study years.
Θα πρέπει και εγώ
I
κάπου να
won't have a
βοηθήσω.
choice but to find a part-time job if I want to continue my studies.
Like Andreas, many young Greeks will be leaving their hometowns to start a student life this fall. For the majority, finding and paying for accommodation is a big concern. It's common for students to seek off-campus housing as the waiting list for university dorms is more than 3 years. And the shortage is not just experienced in extreme housing markets like Athens or Thessaloniki, but in smaller cities as well. The housing market in Greece has seen a sharp rise in the past few years, especially as the country emerged from the decade-long financial crisis. In the past 5 years alone, prices nationwide increased by 45%, with an annual basis rise of 15%, well above inflation. But why is this happening? Well, for a few years now, tourism seasons overlap academic school years, with landlords preferring to rent to visitors rather students. Real estate consultants say that the problem students are facing are likely to get even worse.
Η διαθεσιμότητα φοιτητικών κατοικιών βαίνει
The availability of housing for students decreases every year. One of the reasons is that there is no new construction of on-campus housing or apartments targeting students. Another reason is many of the existing apartments for students are now only available on websites for short-term renting, and we will see this increasing in the coming years.
Αυτή η τάση αναμένουμε να αυξηθεί τα επόμενα χρόνια.
To tackle the increase in prices, the government of Kyriakos Mitsotakis has announced new housing developments and an increase in student housing allowance from $1,000 to $1,500 per academic term. Meanwhile, the country continues to deal with the cost of living crisis. Having secured an apartment, Andreas Fikas might be one of the lucky students, but with winter still ahead, heating that apartment is another concern.